I did predict that I see them settling, and then she's gonna come out and say, I was forced to settle, something like that. I was forced to settle, it was out of my hands, and blame somebody else because she has difficulty accepting. Hi everyone, welcome back to Nola Tara. Excuse me, my name is Holly. So grateful to have you all. Literally, as I started, I swallowed down the wrong pipe. Excuse me, but yeah, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into the reading. If you want to be a part of the membership, lots of great perks. I have two. Check out the membership tab that explains both of them. Yeah, let's get into the reading. So I'm doing 3 updates. First on Harry Styles, second on Keanu Reeves, third on Lizzo. I will have timestamps in the video at the bottom, so check that out. Yeah, so let's get into the reading. I do drop this video first for members, so when the members get the video, I might not have timestamps up. So I do apologize about that. Just to let you know, at least you get the video early. Okay, it's usually about 4 days early. So for Harry Styles, I pre-shuffled the cards and I got this energy of excitement. I got this energy of like, yes, I can do this, like feeling in the flow, you know? So the Knight of Cups, 7 of Wands and 6 of Cups. I see very strongly here that he is courting someone. I do think that it might be related to that Taylor Russell girl. I think he's courting her. I get that energy, very sweet, young. She has like a deer type, you know, Bambi the deer. She reminds me of that. Very sweet, like just, I don't know the exact word, but very innocent and endearing. That's the energy I pick up from her. And this is one of the reasons that I don't see it lasting. It's because Harry needs edge, you know? He's in Aquarius, and as a sun in Aquarius, I say this all the time, I think that's why I can read Harry so well, is because I can relate to him, you know? We don't like cookie cutter. We don't like people that are too perfect. We like edge, you know? And she, I believe, as sweet as she is, as kind as she is, as beautiful as she is, doesn't have enough edge for her. So with Page of Swords, I believe he's getting to know her still, and 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and he's going to be interested in her for only so long. Okay, so I have been obsessed with watching astrology videos for a very long time. And this lady on YouTube, her name's Roshan Sylvan, I think. I forgot her last name, but I know her name is Roshan. She describes Aquarius so well, and very few people really understand us. They call us difficult, they call us stubborn, and we're not any of those things. The reason I think people call Aquarius stubborn is that once we've made up our mind about something, we don't go back. But it takes a while, you know? Like, we'll be open to something, we'll hear different opinions and so forth, but once we've had enough, that's it, it's over. And this is how it's going to be with her. It's going to be very open to dating her, being very open to like, oh yeah, she's interesting. She did also say this, the astrologer said this about Aquarius, that we like to be kept intrigued. And that's where I see this falling into a problem with them, because I don't think she's very intriguing. I think she's too plain Jane for him. And like I said, as Aquarius, we need like mystery. We like mysteries. We like to solve things. We like puzzles. We like people that keep us, and sometimes in an unhealthy way, in suspense. And I think that's how he ended up being lured into Olivia's life. because she kept him in suspense, you know? And that's something I would recommend that he heals within himself, because it's not very sustainable for a relationship if somebody is constantly in suspense, you know? It provides a sense of need for drama that isn't healthy. So with 10 of Cups, King of Wands, and 5 Pentacles, yes, he's very much into her. But for now, he's gonna go back to work, be doing something like a project very soon. Yeah, doing like a biography. He's gonna play. I did say this before. I see him playing a biography of someone. Yeah, as somebody who's British and sports, like a sports person. So with 6 of Swords and 8 of Pentacles, I see him like releasing it and starting anew. This is just gonna last for a few months, and then he's going to move on to somebody else. Okay, so let's move on. Also, I just want to clarify, you know, I did get asked about the coupling, about his tattoo, Harry Styles' tattoo, about Olivia. And I just want to say, and I just want to clarify this, that I feel like the reason why he's not going to get it removed is because he feels a sense of nostalgia to her. I wasn't very clear in that video, so I just want to clarify that. Okay, so let's move on to Keanu Reeves. You know, I feel like Keanu Reeves fans can be so gung-ho about him, and I feel like sometimes Keanu Reeves fans can be very toxic. So if you're one of those toxic fans, I'm not replying to you. It's all about healing and well-being, and I tell the truth, but I'm not going to be mean about his girlfriend, his wife now, I believe she is. I said that I see them lasting a long time, and that it's true love, and people came for me because they don't like her, but it's not about if you like her. He's chosen to be with her, and yeah, you just have to accept that. So let's read. So Keanu Reeves is Sun in Virgo, rising Virgo, and Moon in, what did I write there? Cancer? Cancer? It doesn't seem like a Moon in Cancer to me. Let me see what I wrote. Yeah, Moon in Cancer. Interesting. What's the name to write Cancer? My writing's so small. Anyways, I'm gonna go by Sun in Virgo and rising Virgo. So let's see what new projects are coming for him. What new developments are coming. Okay, so 3 of Cups, 4 of Wands, Perspective. So Perspective is a card of Virgo, and he's looking within himself. I see roles like short films, doing independent short films. I see 2 or 3 that he's going to be working on. And that makes sense because I believe here, I saw this, somebody told me this, that is in the industry, said that actors can do independent films, they're just not allowed to work with big productions, if I believe that to be correct. So I see him doing 2 or 3 independent films. That one of them is going to get a lot of critical acclaim. See it being like dark, very dark. I don't think it has color. I didn't even know he was Canadian. I saw that just as I was looking up his birth chart. I didn't know he was Canadian. But he's going to get a lot of critical acclaim. Sundance, I see him with the Sundance. Stuff like that. So I have a friend that actually worked with him, I did say that. She said he was very humble, very sweet, and showed up on time, which is very Virgo. You know, Virgos are very work driven, and most of them will be on time, very punctual, very to the point, do their jobs very well. And rising Virgo too, actually. But work is very, very important to him. So he's going to keep that going for as long as he can. With 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I see the energy of feeling fulfilled. I actually, when I picked that up, I saw him picking up an award. So he's going to get an award for something. And I don't think he necessarily does things for awards, but he's going to feel appreciated in his craft of acting. So 6 of crystals, 10 of crystals, and the Justice. Honestly, I was never a big Matrix person. As much of, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves, but I like a lot of what he's done. And just his persona. I know people have met him and say that he's a wonderful person. He treats everybody with respect, and I really like people like that. I like people that show up, you know, no matter how big you are. And we're gonna get to Lizzo after this, but no matter what name you have, to still treat everybody with respect, you know. So 6 of crystals, 10 of crystals, and the Justice. I see here a marriage. If they're not already married, I see him moving. Is she from Ireland? They're going to move to where she's from. I think she's from Ireland, because I see like castles and gloomy weather. So it's somewhere in the UK or Ireland, Northern Ireland. So Wheel of Fortune and Knight of Wands. I feel like he's going to feel like a huge part of his life is complete. And I see, unfortunately, somebody in his family becoming ill and him needing to be there for them. But he's going to take a step back. After these projects done, he's going to take a huge step back and really focus on his family and being there for his loved ones, including this woman that he's with. So that's what I have for you. Let's move on to Lizzo. I do love to hear what to say, but please be respectful. By the way, I just used the Star Child Tarot and the Lightyear's Tarot. Now I'm moving on to the Muse Tarot. So this is what I'm using for Lizzo's reading. Lizzo is a Sun in Taurus, Moon in Virgo, and Rising in Leo. Interesting. The Moon in Virgo. Very interesting. So let's see. You know, okay, so I've had, as I'm watching some videos come out about Lizzo, I have had a similar experience with a lot of Taurus in my life. There was actually a time I really had to step away. I had 3 Taurus friends, and I had to really take a step back from them because they were all in this era. And I think when Taurus are not happy with themselves, they take it on other people. We're all like that to an extent, but there's something about Taurus, especially because they are the bull, they can come across like they're being bullies, you know. So let's see. I actually had this friend, this high school friend who was a Sun in Taurus, and she reminds me, the story actually about her reminds me a lot of Lizzo, where she became actually famous. I'm not gonna say her name, but she became famous, and she was a real, I wouldn't say she was a bully in high school, but there was just certain things that happened. Like, for example, one of our mutual friends, her grandmother passed away, and she just lacked a lot of empathy towards her, and it really frustrated me because I was like, her grandmother just died, but you're still being mean to her. Like, it made me so mad. And she just had like this low-key bully. Like, her defense mechanism was that I don't get, which Aquarius, I'm from Aquarius, we can do that to an extent, but if something happens to somebody, we'll still humble ourselves enough to check on that person, you know, as well. That's how I am. But she was definitely not like that, and she would go low on people even if they were having a really bad time. And I've just seen a trend of Taurus, a lot of Taurus in my life and in public have been generally like the workplace bully, you know. And that's the energy I'm picking up with Lizzo. I think she is like that workplace bully. And I actually was watching Be the Commentator. I've said this before, I love to watch her videos. Be the Commentator did a video on Lizzo and the recent accusations, and honestly I believe them, 100% I believe them. I think it takes a lot of courage to come out. I know people who've worked for Lizzo, and I actually saw her one time in LA at a Target. I'm not gonna say which one it was, but I saw her and she just looked very miserable. But it wasn't the kind of miserable that I wanted to automatically have empathy for. It was the kind of miserable that was like, you know, like everybody else is below me. that kind of miserable. And I was like, whoa, very interesting, because I never had a good feeling about her from day one. I still feel for her because I think she has a lot of healing to do, but I also see a lot of the verbiage she uses, and this is similar to my high school friend. Maybe she's grown by now, but they use this language of, the world did this to me, you know, the constant victim. And then behind closed doors, they are the one victimizing other people. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what unfolds. I did predict that I see them settling, and then she's gonna come out and say, I was forced to settle, something like that. I was forced to settle, it was out of my hands, and blame somebody else, because she has difficulty accepting and taking accountability for her actions. So with the Lovers, Ace of Pentacles and the Star, I see here that she's going to push this idea with this boyfriend, that she's gonna, I think, pressure him to marry her. It's not gonna work out. Eight of Cups in reverse. It's not gonna work out. And then she's gonna date somebody else. This guy, and I think, yeah, I saw a video of the ex-girlfriend coming out. I don't know if it's really his ex-girlfriend, but I get the sense, I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. But then I saw, actually, I think he was there that day at Target when I saw her. I can't really remember, but I know there was a guy with her. And it might have been him. But I know a lot of tourists who are like her, I'm telling you. They'll just like bully people. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So she's going to want to build something. She's gonna pressure him. Basically try to bully him into marriage. So this is the thing about Lizzo. When I was watching the interview she did, I was watching Be the Commentator. She showed a clip of the interview, an interview she did with, I think it was GMA, Good Morning America. And I'm paraphrasing, but she said something along the lines of, I was the geek, I was the nerd, and her story went from her not being liked to everybody was talking about me. And it gave me like I just had like a download at that moment, because I realized that her defense mechanism is to rely on other people's behavior. I don't know if that makes sense. But like I said before, instead of taking accountability and being like, yeah, I was a nerd, you know, and so what? She flips that and says, yeah, but everybody was talking about me, you know? So I think her way of being noticed is to make sure people are constantly talking about her. It gives her validation. So with 7 of Wands, Queen of Cups, and 10 of Cups, she's going to fire a lot of her management, fire a lot of the people around her, and she's going to blame them for pushing things on her. She's going to throw them under the bus. She's going to pull an Ellen. And then she's going to say there's better things for me, better people for me. Be the victim of where she came from. I'm not surprised, like I said before, that this came out. I did hear things from people that I know about her, that she wasn't very nice. So I'm really, really not surprised. But the problem with throwing other people under the bus is that it's going to continue. She's never going to get to the bottom of solving her own issues, and it's going to be everybody else's problem. You know? And that's what I've seen too about Southern Taurus a lot of the time. They have this tendency to, yes, get what they want, but they'll do it in a very aggressive way if they really want it. I don't know if that makes any sense. So, Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Hanged Muse, it's not going to land well. Her behavior moving forward is just not going to land well at all. And I do believe that in the beginning, She was humble, she was some sort of nice, but I think that her ego got way too big for her to even grasp what being nice is. You know what I mean? So that's what I have for you all. I love you all, and please stay tuned for more updates. Take care.